Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunattu Sah Vidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karane Bhishnunyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyamakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtvagum Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indra Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedhaha Swasti na Starksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Shruti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vanshrushibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitah Prajnanaghana Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om. One more question. Swamiji, please explain and differentiate Pratyaksha Anubhuti, Paroksha Anubhuti, and Aparoksha Anubhuti. I know its meaning, but I wish more clarity and guidance in transferring this knowledge, Gnana to Vijnana. Okay. Pratyaksha, that knowledge which is gained through perception, is Pratyaksha, direct perception. As such, every knowledge is perception. Even the inferential knowledge is based on Pratyaksha. But Pratyaksha means when given sense organ and backed by mind comes in contact with a given Vishaya, and that knowledge takes place, is called Pratyaksha. That knowledge is generally free from any doubts and error, sort of. When you see something, when I see this mouth closing, this thing, you know, mask, this is orange color. This is a Pratyaksha. It is seen by all of you, and you know for sure it is a mask. And if I wear and show you, it becomes confirmed. Yes, it is a mask. If I had just shown something orange, it can be handkerchief also. So this is a Pratyaksha Gnana. Paroksha is inferential knowledge, but it's a knowledge. See, there are two things: inferential belief and inferential knowledge. I described to you Rajkot Ashram now, and the few changes and the fruits and the flowers and the Gomatas and the etc. There is some knowledge, but that is a paroksha knowledge. You gain some idea about it, but that knowledge is subject to verification, subject to correction. And having come over here, you may say, yes, yes, Swamiji, it is exactly like what you said. Or someone may say it is much more than what you said, or it is not that much as you described. I had an idea, but it got now clear. But there is another paroksha jnanam. It is jnana. When, like through the words, things are described here. Or you see a car of given person in India, not in US. Because in US, one has to drive one's own car only. Husband may not drive wife's car and wife may not drive husband's car because insurance increases. There's a very funny thing about it. In India, a friend also will take the car. Anybody will take the car. And insurance continues to be the same. It is not necessary that the owner must drive the car. So you see the car of a given person outside ashram premises. Then you infer, oh, he is here. Good, I wanted to see him. You know the number, you know the car. May be true, may not be true. That's inferential knowledge. You come inside and see, yes, he may be there. And his friend also may be there. He said, oh, I brought it. Swamiji, my friend gave me. I asked for a car. I just wanted to drive. And he said, okay, drive, go, take to ashram. And I said, I'm going to ashram. So he gave me. But when something you see, hear, or see, whatever, and something that you infer has invariable concomitants, called as avinabhava sambandha. Like even whenever there is a smoke, there is a fire. That is, the relationship is definite. There cannot be smoke without a fire. So if you see smoke on the mountain, as they say, Parvato Vanniman, mountain. How do you say so? There is a fire in the forest, in the mountain. How? There is Dhumatvad, there is a smoke. I see smoke, and that is an inferential knowledge, paroksha. Okay? That which is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha is aparoksha. Aparoksha is something which is right available to you. In spite of that, you don't know it. And it is revealed to you. It is self-revealing vastu. Not only not known, but known otherwise. There is an ignorance. However, I'll continue with the same example. Our good old Karna, he took himself to be the son of the wife of a chariot, Radha. He thought that I am a son of Radha. Radha putro ham. I am Radheya. He used to say that. I am Radheya. Like Arjuna said, Kaunteya, he said, I am Radheya. Actually, this is an error. He is a Kaunteya. Kaunteya is available to him there and then. There is a problem of self-ignorance. The self is self-revealing, self-existing. In fact, you can say that Radheya is sitting upon Kaunteya. The satta spurti of Radha's son, the existence and sentiency of a son of a Radha actually belongs to son of Kunti. But somehow That Radheya misses the Kaunteya. Aham naham Radheya kintu aham Kaunteya. That he needs to recognize. Or our good old story, Tvam Dashmosi. Those 9 children, 10 children, village boys going out for a trip, one day picnic. The eldest one was given the responsibility of the rest 9. They played and moved in the forest and swam the river. Village boy, very rustic guys. They swam the river, and having been there across the forest, after some time suddenly remember, let me count. Are we 10 or am I missing somebody? He counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And concluded one is missing. Dashamaha nashta. 10th is lost. Who was the 10th? He himself was the 10th. He counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But missed out himself. So the Dashamaha, which is being sought, they started a search. Or I would say hunt, not search. They were on a hunt for the 10th man. But 10th was right there, self-revealing. There is a conclusion that I am one of the 9. I am not the 10th. That conclusion is with all of them. And there is some guru story goes and tells them, count again. And then he says, Tvam Dashmosi. The very seeker is the sought. In this situation, Pratyaksha cannot give you knowledge. The Paroksha means also cannot give you the knowledge. Because that so-called knowledge, Paroksha Gnanam of fire on the mountain, is dependent on the smoke that you need to see or at least smell. Something is burning. There is some fire. In the home also, you smell something and look for some fire. This is not available for any pratyaksha. The Kaunteya is not going to come in front of Radheya. He say, I am Kaunteya, you are Kaunteya. Come on, let's merge. That's not going to happen. Nor the 10th one is going to come around and say, hey, I am the 10th one. There you need some external pramana, external means. A teacher, a third person to build the context. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then tell him, hey, you are the 10th in the group. That knowledge is called aparoksha gnanam. There is no translation for this word in English. However, they say the nearest translation is immediate knowledge. The knowledge that takes place there and then when the Upadesha is given. The teacher tells you are the 10th. Like Karna was told by Lord Krishna, hey, natvam tu radheya, tvam tu kaunteya. He realized his true self, quote unquote true, which was a true self only. On the true self only, the Radheya was superimposed. Like on the rope, the snake is superimposed. Adhyaropita. So, in self-knowledge, these are all rambo-jumbo words people use by saying indirect knowledge, and there is a gnanam, and then you realize and make it direct knowledge. You have gnanam when you study from a teacher, and then make it into vijnanam, and then meditate and realize. There is no such thing. Either there is knowledge or there is no knowledge. Knowledge cannot be half-baked knowledge. Either you know or you don't know, full stop. What is the problem in case of self-knowledge is this. This looks too simplistic, these examples of Karna and Dashamaha. Here the problem is the 10th person who takes himself to be 9th has concluded myself to be not that for janmas, many janmas. The self, which is Satchidananda, is taken as what? Asat, Agnani and Dukhi. And that conclusion is carried forward for so many janmas. It is like RCC, reinforced cement concrete. Once it is solid, difficult to break. That conclusion is too solid. Ishvara is different from me, sitting somewhere. Definitely not me. The world that I see is real, not mithya. And I am dukhi. All these conclusions are so inherent. And in absence of a proper teacher who can unfold the word mithya properly, who can unfold the word Ishvara properly, who can reveal this identity, it's very hard to comprehend. And if one has certain sharp intellect, which generally you gain it, especially modern life, exposure to the world through this your small device of mobile, etc. Lot of input is there in your mind. And more input to the intellect, more sharp it becomes somehow with the societal growth. Technological and scientific advancement, people have little sharp, especially living in metros. Certain things they understand quick. And should you have a shraddha on a teacher, and that teacher, as we discussed, is Shrotriya Brahmanishtaha, knows what he or she is talking about, and knows the sampradaya, he has captured the sampradaya from his teacher thoroughly, and in a traditional way, he or she is able to unfold the shastra, and you have a shraddha. While listening, you are surrendered. Remember surrender, I have explained that. Surrendered means you are objective, just simple objective intellect. Momentarily, your notions and ideas and prejudices and likes and dislikes are suspended moment. They stand suspended. And you are just a bare thinking person. And as the teacher proceeds, you happen to see the truth. Oh, yes. No sooner the class gets over, I've seen people asking questions. What a class. Especially the South Indian people have this style. They do this, like that they take the side. What a class, Swamiji. Wow, what a class. Yo, they will do 3-4 times. Swamiji sits with the people after the class for 5-10 minutes for satsanga. What a class. So clear. Crystal clear. Swamiji, you are unique, except that they will praise. And then they will say, I understand when you say, Swamiji, Jagat is mithya and I am Satchidananda. But, typical South Indian, but, if you have understood, where is but? when I say, this is, what is this? You have understood what it is, covering the mouth, mask. Then Swamiji, I have understood it is mask, but then where is but? Knowledge is to be clear, free from doubts and free from errors. That doesn't happen. And that is why there is a confusion, not confusion, but confusion. Let us have confusion in confusion. Let us have confusion in confusion. Okay. There is a confusion that there is from a teacher you get indirect knowledge. From a teacher you get gnanam. I have to make it vignanam. I have to make it direct knowledge, etc., etc. No, it is knowledge. If it is, and if it is not, it is not. Full stop. The problem is, as I said in the beginning, because of the modern societal and educational structure, one gains little sharp intellect. That intellect has ability to understand few things. And I said, you have a Shraddha, there is a competent teacher, you see the fact. But if I use this another word, you cannot hold on to the knowledge. Because those old notions, old conclusions, old prejudices, old ragadveshas take over the knowledge and no, this cannot be true. And you go by them, and therefore the Swamiji, I understand, but it was so clear when you said in the class, I am Ananda. But I think I am very dukhi, Swamiji. And then and then another sentence, I said, Swamiji would say, what? He would have a little surprise. You said you are Ananda, and then said, I am very dukhi. The expressions of the Swamiji gives him a feeling that Swamiji doesn't understand me. Swamiji is not willing to accept that I am dukhi. So the next sentence comes, just Swamiji has not said a single word. Swamiji, I understand, but Swamiji will have a very piercing eyes, or questioning. The next sentence is, Swamiji, you don't know. I am very dukhi. Idiot. Swamiji knows the truth that you are Ananda. How do you say, Swamiji, you don't know I am dukhi? And then they further qualify. Swamiji, you may be Ananda, but I am not Ananda. That means there are so many Atmas. You are falsifying, trying to falsify the truth. Ekam sat bahudha vadanti. We will see this in Mundak Upanishad mantra also. There is non-dual self. How can there be one dukhi atma and another sukhi atma? If it is atma means self, and if sukham anandam is the nature of the self, how can there be some sukhi and some dukhi atmas? And that too, assuming there are many selves, let us say, accepting. There are no many selves. There is only one non-dual self. That's what Swamiji is telling you. And if at all you accept your statement that there are many Atmas, but the very nature of the Atma is Ananda. All Atmas are Ananda. How come some Atmas are Dukhi and some Atmas are Sukhi? It cannot be. And that fellow says, Swamiji, you don't know. Really, I tell you, don't know. I'm Dukhi. This is lack of preparedness. Certain, you need Shuddha, technically we call it pure mind, Shuddha Antakaranam, mind relatively free from likes and dislikes, a matured person, an objective mind, that is maturity. That is Vairagya, an objective mind. And one more thing you need, you have to address your emotions. That habitual errors are addressed. That instinctual reactions and thinking is addressed and well mastered. Then it is clear as daylight. Or as I said, you may see the truth in the class because of Shraddha and subtlety. But in absence of your preparedness, you cannot hold on to the knowledge after the class gets over. And when you cannot hold on, therefore there is a feeling that I have indirect knowledge and I have to make it direct. It is like saying, Guruji, I understood that I am the 10th one, but now I have indirect knowledge. Now I have to make a direct knowledge that I am 10th one. There is nothing like that. Karna telling Lord Krishna, I understand now I am Radhe, not Radhe, but I am Kauntaya. But what you taught is indirect. Let me meditate and make it direct. Let me sit and make it direct. Okay? I have Gnanam, but it should become Vignanam. Sometimes teacher uses these two words together, implying that knowledge having those doubts, knowledge having those viparita bhavana, habitual error, knowledge sullied by, hijacked by those doubts caused by there's prejudices and notions and my views and ragadvesas and beliefs, and my habitual error of taking myself to be physio-psycho-complex can be called as gnanam, and making this knowledge, gnanam, free from these doubts, my own prejudice, that honesty to accept the new wisdom from a teacher and own up by having that strength that I am not carried away by emotions or my unconscious, that can be called as vigna. In a Shastric jargon, sapratibandhaka gnanam and apratibandhaka. Sapratibandhaka means with obstructions, with obstacles. Obstructions caused by doubting, wrong thinking, preconditionings, and obstruction caused by habitual thinking. To make the mind free from them and gain the knowledge is called, to assimilate the knowledge is called Vijnanam. Sometimes it is used. Okay. While teaching about the readiness of the student, Parikshalokan, Karmachitan, Brahmana, etc., students' attitude, Samitpanihi, and Guru, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, you had clarified that the thinking is never surrendered, but the subjective or wrong thinking should be surrendered. Sometimes, especially in today's era, let me go step by step. Thinking is not surrendered, is never surrendered. Means capacity to think. You don't close your thinking. You keep it open. But suspend momentarily or keep aside. Like we keep aside, even in US, people when they go to temple, it's so cold outside. They have winter shoes and winter socks. But the moment they go into the temple, they leave the shoes outside. And they go in. Temporarily leave aside. And with an open intellect, you try to see the truths of the statements, of the teachings of Guruji and Upanishad and Gita. And having seen the truth, you analyze your thinking in the light of new understanding. You just look at your ideas, your views, your notions, your prejudices in the light of new thinking. And if you yourself discover by thinking that is going on, yes, this was wrong. Yes, my what I thought to be is improper. Capacity to shed and own up this new wisdom is Shraddha. That is called thinking. Sometimes, especially in today's era, one may come across fake teachers. For example, ordering teachers who only want to create blind followers. Not everyone is blessed to come to Pujya Swamiji, you and this authentic tradition. For a beginner or a confused seeker, it is difficult to know whether he or she is lacking Shraddha or there is really an issue with the person perceived as teacher. Even many educated people get trapped in such situations. How to distinguish the lack of Shraddha on the part of a student from the lack of the competency on the part of teacher? With all humility, I am telling, during your state when you are seeker, don't bother. Okay? Don't bother to know whether someone is lacking Shraddha or someone has incompetent teacher. Just forget it. You look at yourself. First, check up. You very rightly said, and I'm proud to own up, I belong to the tradition, and you are blessed to have a right teacher, competent teacher. But do you see that? If you can see, then forget about looking at others. Second part, whether the person lacks Shraddha or not, that also forget. Look at your heart. Do you have that surrender? Do you have that willingness, openness while doing Shravanam? And a part of the knowledge is to do seva, etc. I am ready to do Tad Viddhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Check yourself. That's it. Don't get into this. Okay? However, since you have asked, I guess it must be bothering you. So I just wanted to, first of all, learn to draw boundary. Whole teaching of it from a Vedanta teacher is for myself, not others. Maximum, you can enhance your periphery in the self, if self includes your husband or wife, or son or daughter. And if they are willing to listen to you, otherwise don't push also. If they have readiness, then you can help each other. If both of you are attending, that is the seventh pratigna, saptapadi pratigna, sakha bhava, sakhi bhava. You know, that's a job of the wife and husband as a friend to draw attention and help him. It is not a criticism, make sure that other person sees this. The way you convey your body language, I mean verbal and non-verbal communications, and the point that you convey. And the moment that person, when he or she has in you convey, that he or she, your spouse, should not see that you are criticizing or you are ordering, you are controlling. No. He too should have that objectivity available when you tell them. And you can say, look, this is what I think is lacking. And that to say like this, I think it is lacking on our part in terms of Shraddha. I think. Don't say straight away, this is lagging in you. No, say, I feel so, or I think so. In my perception. Maybe wrong. That's nowadays I find people telling this. It's a good habit. You know, I may be wrong, but I don't know. I may be wrong. They say this. But I think this needs to be corrected on your part. That means I'm open to your arguments or your statements if to correct my perception also. Hey, you need to do this. That means you have concluded that that person is like that. And you are unwilling to change. You may be right, you may be not right. So, or your children, if they are willing to listen to you, you may tell them, but don't bother for others. Third point, when you say, fake teachers, there are not fake teachers, they are fake gurus. And teachers are few and far, but 90% are fake gurus. The first and the foremost thing is to see whether that teacher or that head of a sampradaya or a group or whatever, does he teach Shastra? 90% don't teach. They are gurus only. They want, what you said rightly, to create blind followers. They come across, they want them to be believing or ordered. That's it. That is true. Partly I see that. They condition that Guru Seva and all that. And some of them are not fake teachers, but they are unfortunate teachers who teach Gita and Upanishad. Okay? I call only those persons who teach Gita and Upanishad as a teacher. Otherwise, that every Mahatma or everybody is doing some satsangas and some lecture bajis and some murlis and something they go on. They are not teachers. They are unfortunate that they didn't come across a traditional teacher, and if at all they had come across, they couldn't capture the tradition. Ashcharya Vakta, Ashcharya Labdha, Kushalanushrishta. The teacher is wonder, and the one who captures the tradition of teaching, sampradaya, and who knows the methodology of teaching and capture the very subject matter. Two things, understanding the teaching and understanding the methodology of teaching. The Vastu and Sampradaya, both, is Mahashakti. So that is just a grace, you get it through Ishwar Krupa. And should you want to help, first of all, don't bother to distinguish lack of Shraddha on their part. All these devotees have tremendous Shraddha. That's why they are holding on to it. Not knowing what is Shraddha and not knowing what is the right teacher. It is exactly like going to a doctor. There is a Shraddha that he is the right doctor. He may not be knowing also. So there is no question of not having Shraddha. In fact, that Shraddha only creates problem for them, because for a length of time with Shraddha they surrender and they get so emotionally attached, and then they are not open to any kind of thinking even. So help them, should you want to help them, say them, the thing is you have to study Shastra. There should not be and cannot be a Hindu guru who doesn't know Shastra and doesn't teach Shastra and still calls himself or herself as a guru, or still he is being called by devotees. That's a blunder of devotees. Why should you call him a guru? Earlier I had said there cannot be a Christian cardinal or Christian father who doesn't talk Bible. There cannot be a Muslim Maulvi who doesn't accept the Quran and Hadith and etc. their primary granthas. So help him at least to convince those devotees to with that student. Please look for Shastra. The person becomes very gullible when there is a vairagya for whatever reason. He or she wants to do something uncommon. And at that moment, he or she is available to anything unconventional. And if someone says, and then he or she invests their Shraddha and then goes. That's how they get caught up in them. That's their papam, I would say. Or that's not right way to say, but better would be they lacked certain punyas to come to us. And they lack that punyas to put the Shraddha on me, They say America, I put my dollar on this, you. I put my dime on you. I mean, they don't know Shraddha. So they had lack of punya. That's all. Help them to see, or at least come to conclusion that please look for Shastra, nothing else. Swamiji, it is not a question, but my observation. During our study, so I present here. You may throw some more light on this. Swamiji, generally devotees ask how to find a guru. But Dayanandji Swami used to say that when a flower blossoms in a solitary place, it does not need to send invitation card to Madhumakkis, means bees. The bees come to it without calling. So as devotees are prepared inside with sadhana, sadhana chatushtaya and chitta shuddhi, the guru will enter in their life. No need for any search. As we got Swamiji, you and our Puja Swami Dayanand, the guru is always, as it is said in Vivek Shudamani, Shanta Mahatma Kamahata, not Kamahata, Akamahata, okay? Hatha, Kamahata means the opposite meaning, who is been hit by kamas, sort of his mind is riddled with various desires, various kamas, Akamahata. Guru is Akamahata. Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, full of compassion and bandhu. That is a shloka. I think this person is studying Vivek Chudavani. Maybe for Sambar or Dhanya. Yes, she is teaching in Gujarat. Looks like some Gujarati asking a question. So disciple, if approached with full surrendering to the master and be attuned perfectly with him, then Karunya Sindhu Guru on one hand, and on the other hand, if disciple is fit with high receptivity of mind, knowledge takes place. This naturally happens. No need to search for Guru. Yes, Guru Kripa plays a great role in it, and that is to be earned by disciple. Though we see every person gets Guru that he deserves. If a person deserves a Guru like Ashrama or Ram Rahim, he gets such Gurus. I don't know, Ashrama, what Guru? And if we developed ourselves with sadhana chatushtaya and made us fit, we will be fortunate to get Guru like our Swami Paramatmananda, who has all qualities of the master that is described by Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani. One sentence that you made, we see every person gets Guru that he deserves. In a way true and in a way not true. when they stuck with those fake gurus, you cannot say that he has done those karmas and therefore he got those gurus. The right thing is they are short of some punyas. That short of certain punyas to come across a right teacher. And I tell you, even if you fall short of that punya, you as XYZ, and doesn't get a proper teacher, Shrotriya, Brahmanishta or traditional teacher, but if mokshecha is there, form, and if eyes and ears are open, when thinking is there, Bhagavan will take him to Shastra. I have so many examples. In my ashram also there is one person, and while studying also I have seen from all across and background, their mokshecha was there. And there was some thinking clear, this is not the ultimate, I look something wrong. In an improper guru, they invest their emotions. Then it becomes difficult. There is thinking is not open. You should see what one is talking is incongruous. It cannot be true. The thinking should be there. And if it is there, Bhagavan will give you. Puja Swamiji, Dayanandji had spent sleepless nights. I have heard him say, and it is there in that book which was brought about on his Shashti Purti and Sahasrabdi both. There were 2 volumes on him when he turned 60 and when he turned 84. He learned from so many teachers. He learned that you have to question who am I, knowledge will take place. He learned that you have to get an indirect knowledge and then make it direct. So many things. But somehow it was not clear. He said if it is a pramanam, it has to be clear. Finally, he met some Pranavananji in Gudivada. I have met that person with whom he was staying. That our Amma, she just passed away, her son, and Amma used to love me very much. They have narrated the story. Swamiji happened to be there, and then he was like, when a person is very much confused, you can make out. And he was not in the normal person. They could make out and all that. They loved him. Shanmugam Amma. Shanmugam. Mr. Shanmugam passed away. Then Mrs. Meera Shanmugam. You might have seen Meera Amma, thin, short lady. They saw that he's a little not okay and all that thing, confusion. They just say it, okay, shall we go to see a Swami called Paramatmananda? And they went. And he was teaching. He was teaching. And it struck to him, this is the thing. Shastra is a pramanam. It cannot be something mystical about self. Self is self-evident, self-existing, self-revealing fact. How can it be mystical? She just saw it like a bang. Like you do bore well in the water. Suddenly you hit the water reservoir under the boom. A huge splash of water comes out for a long time. You had a lot of water. And then he further became clear when he came to Rishikesh and studied Brahma Sutra with Swami Tarananji and all that. So, when mokshecha is there, Bhagavan just takes them. I have seen many people. In a mystical way, they become sannyasis. Somehow, Bhagavan takes. So keep your that if you want to help the other person, just to clarify your thinking, that moksha should be found. And this should be open thinking. At least that much one should discern. Without study, there is no moksha. Arjuna had that clarity. Shishyasteham sadhimam tam prapanna. Bhagavan Rama had clarity. So he asked Vasishtha ji, and Vasishtha ji taught him Yoga Vasishtha. Rajas used to learn. So that can, Bhagavan will help him. And that is true. Shantaha, what you said, Guru will enter into the life. Means that Ishvara takes to the right person in that sense. And moksha ichha is there, Bhagavan helps that person to come to a right teacher, you know. And what you say, Shanta Mahantaha Akamadaha Hetuka Daya Sindhu, full of compassions. Please understand the compassion. Guru is, this is, by the way, I want to tell that compassion, because there is a fellow available to him with bundle of prejudices and likes and dislikes and notions and ideas. Like I told you, he tells, Swamiji, you don't know I am Mahadukhi. On the face of it, you are telling to such a Mahatma, you don't know I am Mahadukhi. That requires a lot of compassion. Anyway, so knowledge will take place. And certainly the Krupa takes place. Krupa plays an important role in one's life. That is also true. Pranam, Swamiji. Thank you for the teaching us with love and compassion. I cannot but teach with love and compassion only. Every teacher has to do that. And you, I mean, will be natural doing that. This is from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Please elaborate on understanding that I am not Karta Bhokta in the connection with being a contributor and performing actions to help others, especially in the context of Vairagya regarding gains in this world or in the hereafter. You might have heard this. Fake it and make it. Means even if there is no value or no commitment or no attitude, but perform the action. And for performing that action for repeatedly for a length of time, you develop that attitude, you develop that understanding. It is called fake it and make it. Classical example is swimming. You move your hands and legs as if you know the swimming. What a person who knows swimming does, you keep doing that. That it grows upon the neck to keep this body floating, it grows. And you learn the swimming. That's called learning the swimming. Beginning, you have some support of a tube or something. And do what is to it. Or our typical Indian example of Raksha Bandhanam, Rakhi ka Tyohar. The brother happens to be younger, sister happens to be older by 6-7 years. This brother ties the Rakhi to the sister when from year 1, 2 onwards, moment he learned to hold it, let's say 2 years onwards. When she was already 10. And she understands what brother is. This fellow doesn't know what a sister is. Doesn't. Even when this fellow turns 10, she is 18. You understand what it is? Still, the boy is asked to give the hand, and a sister, younger one, is asked to tie the Rakhi, and boy is asked, whichever a younger was holding, boy or a girl. They continue. When they grow up and when they are in their 30s and 40s, then they see, wow. Formerly, it was obliging to parents. Both of them obliged parents. Dad said, do that. The girl does it and the boy does it, or mom said. Now they want to do, they could see the love and the warmth and the responsibility and the care, all that involves in a brother-sister relationship. Continuously doing. Any form that you hold on, there is a possibility after a given some time you can see the spirit, you can see the vision, you can see the need, you can see the reason behind the form. So also, by birth, each one of us is self-centered. Every child doesn't want to share. Me and myself only, that's okay. That's immaturity. In fact, that is childishness. What we call childish. Baby doesn't understand, and if it at all understands, it is not ready to accept and give up. What inconvenience it causes to parents by demanding certain things. I want. Full stop. They understand. And sometimes they tell certain things to mom. He says, I want to eat this, mom, make it for me. She may be tired. And he says, but oh, Sunny, oh, love, oh, darling, oh, beta, I can't make this today, I'm too tired. I know you always are tired when it comes to me. You don't love me. You prepared for the sister other day, but not for me. Things of me only. 2 or 3-year-old baby, 3 to 5-year-old baby promised that I will go to take you to safari. By the way, I came to know there is in Toronto African safari. And somebody showed me the pictures. You can see lions and all so closely. There are sharks and dolphins, and I'll take you there. Excited, promised on this Sunday, and something comes up. Baby is not going to yield, not going to give up. You have to take me, full stop. Can't see the problem they have, can't see their inconvenience, can't see their difficulties. And even if they try to tell, mom tries to tell and explain, no, but whatever it is, I want, you have to take me, you have to give me. Self-centered. This is self-centeredness. Incapacity to see inconvenience or pain or need for others, or inability to give in. All the right, on highways, yield. Inability to yield. When the lane merges in Northern America, everywhere I have seen. When the lane is merging on expressway or highway, there is a board, yield. You learn to yield by fake it and make it. The same children who are on Raksha Bandhan forced to tie Rakhi, and they keep fighting for a toy. No, it's mine, I will not give you. And usually if there are 2 or 3 siblings, what one wants, the same thing other wants. One wants a blue ball, the other also wants the blue ball. Typical like Cadbury gems, The chocolates are same, only one is given blue gems, other says, and green. No, I don't want green, I want blue only. And that one says, no, I will never share with you. Green. Are a blue watch. It's mine. Immature. And the slightest hint after growing up, what I have, my sister or brother likes it. Whatever amount, to what extent it may be dear to me, you just come to know, or you infer that he or she likes it. You just give it. And tell also lies. Sometimes they say, I never liked this. Some wristwatch or some ring, and that. Sister might have told to some other cousin sister that, my brother has a watch I like so much. And then it's so good and it's a fashion statement, and my brother is rich and he loves, and he has a good watch and I cannot buy something like that. Even not that she may not have told. Your financial status, brother knows. That she praised the watch and she likes it. Maybe costing $500 plus. He comes to know after 6 months. We'll buy new one and give. And tell, this is the one I had bought and I'm not wearing at all. I don't like it. Fake it and make it. That's how our culture was, and our parents grew up that. Always share, always give. That means the use. You by decision you become a contributor. What you said, being a contributor and helping others. More you give up, more you by decision you are a contributor. You will become natural contributor, natural giver. That's a dharma. That leads to what we call Shuddha Antakarana, or thinking mind, which can discern the fact that what I have been working for is pithless, and what exactly I want has no connection with what I have achieved. That sows a seed for Vairagya. When you study from a teacher, you can see this fact. Please understand. I am not Karta Bhokta is not something to be keep repeating. Actor need not say I am not Karta. I am not beggar. If he or she plays a role of a beggar, he lives or he plays the role in the awareness of Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, whoever has assumed the role. Suppose he is Mr. Smith. He plays the role in that awareness. I am Smith. Then the fallout of I am Smith is I am not Karta Bhokta. Means I am not Raja. I am not Bhikshuka. And all the dialogue that I have said doesn't belong to me. They are incidental. So please don't start reminding I am a Karta, I am a Bhokta. No, be Bhokta, nothing wrong in it. Should you need to experience something, have it. Should you feel like eating, have it. Should you feel like drinking, have it, except few things. Not the don't become too spiritual in drinking, that's all. You can not at all spiritual in drinking. Rest you have it. Actor has everything on the stage. There is awareness. So study Shastra and try to see I am Satchidananda. I am Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. I am that consciousness. Chidananda Asmi. So more you see that, automatically you become Akarta and Abhokta. You don't become, you are. You discover. Like, Kurvannapi Nalipyate. In spite of doing, I am not doing. Okay. Namaste. there are few questions. Although I stressed for 5-10 minutes, but I couldn't complete. We'll see it on next week. Okay. And on this 23rd, 24th happens to be Guru Purnima. Nipa, Ben, or Kruti will put something on the note, intimation about the program on the group. In a day or two, I have to discuss with them something, because now India is getting much safer and normal, more so the Gujarat. We have only 43 cases. We are 6.5 crores Gujaratis. And Rajkot is without a single case for last 10 days. Things are opening up, and so my traveling has begun. So I'll discuss with them. They will put it in the group. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namaste.